Hello everyone, I'm Jesus and welcome to the next episode of the Road to Old School MTG. I have two packages here for two different formats. This package here is for Old School 93-94 Old School Magic, but specifically I got these cards for the Singleton format, although they are very useful cards in general, so I'm happy to have them as options, not just for that, but for other things that may pop up. But for now, they were primarily bought for Singleton. And then this is some more cards to give me more options for my ALICE decks. I do have another package that's coming in, should be coming in a couple of days, but I don't think it warrants me making another video out of it. So what I'll do is I'll show the order in this video, just the order list of what I get, just so you guys know these cards are also going to be added once they arrive to my collection. I might change my mind, but for now, I'm thinking I'm not going to make an extra video just for that. Mainly because this one is already, pretty big as it is. Okay, so here I have one Suchi and one Tanos' Coffin, both from Antiquities, and they are heavy played. So these cards are pretty expensive. That's why getting them in near mint or light played is pretty expensive. The Suchi is definitely over 100, and light played, near mint each. And the Tanos' Coffin, we're looking at 300. Really, I got a really awesome price for both of these. That's why I pulled the trigger on this deal. And then here we just have some Alliances Ice Age cards. Nothing big, but once again, it gives me more options for future decks. And actually, there's already the next tournament for Alice starting up, and that's why I may not make a video for the next upcoming package, because I need to open it up and put them in my deck right away, because there's already another tournament coming up. All right, going into this one. Here it is, Suchi. I got them both from Super Games Inc. $70 for one heavy plate Suchi, $130 for one heavy plate Tanos' Coffin. Both from Antiquities, heavy plate, and they both included pictures. So we'll see if I compare them back to back. I might as well give a full accounting of what I received. All right, so starting up with the big one. So I'm just filling it out for where I cut. So bubble mailer, and then it was wrapped around itself for added padding, which is fine. Here are the cards, and each in their own little packaging here. Oh, actually has three. So two front and back, and then two middle ones with the cards inside them. Yeah, honestly, they're already pretty good. All right, the Suchi. Suchi is definitely one of those cards I will be getting a full playset of. It's just such an iconic card, such a useful card, and this gets added a lot instead of Juggernauts, because Juggernauts have 3 toughness, so they are vulnerable to bolts, bolt type spells, while Suchis are not. Of course, Suchis will give you a big drawback with you get 4 colors mana whenever it dies, and then depending on the format, if you're playing a format that includes mana burn, which I tend to play, you will be taking 4 damage if you don't use that mana, right? But then it can be negated by Mishra's Factory, something that you can pump mana, random colorless mana into, and then it's really no drawback at all. And other formats like Swedish have no mana burn, so then this is just a straight up 4 colorless for a 4/4 with no drawback, and the 4 extra mana could even be a benefit by that point. All right, so yeah, looks really nice. I know the camera, this camera is not the best, but yeah, you can see definitely just chipped away here on the corner over there, this corner, really all four corners. And also I can tell there's a bit of a bend on this side of the card. Just slight, but I can see a little bit of it. I doubt it if it's visible here. Let's see if the light can catch that bend. Maybe, but you know, that's it's barely anything, honestly. It's very solid. Yeah, I'm very happy. Yep, looks nice for a heavy plate. Honestly, that's, to me, that's more like maybe moderate play. I guess maybe if it wasn't so chipped up, so roughly up there, it could have gone from moderate play. So now we are in the bigger ballpark now. Tallness coffin. So this one does have a little bend at the edge here, but I guess all around it has less pronounced ripping. It's like there, right? All around the corners is a little frayed. The back definitely has more. Yeah, the back definitely has some markings and such. See a little bend there in the corner. This corner. Yeah, there you can see it, you see? But the card is pretty straight, so that's, you know, especially at this price, that's just nitpicking. All right, so I think, yeah, let me see if it's possible for me to open up the actual listings of these two items, especially when you're looking at something that's more, you know, a little pricier. I'll once again, this is from TCG Player. So definitely I go and try to purchase from those listings that have a picture, because a lot of them would just put heavy plate, this is the price, no picture. There's just nothing that you can latch onto, and then when you get whatever you get, you can't really complain. This one, they took that extra step, which I really appreciate. So honestly, I see why they got this big rating. In fact, I was already looking at another card from Super Games Inc. I just wanted to get these to make sure they're reputable. They send what they say they would in the condition as it appears. And yeah, I see that little frame there, little frame there. Yeah, honestly, the front looks pretty decent except for the frames. And then it also included a back picture. Yeah. Yeah, little frames there here, little scratches. Yeah, I would say it's a very accurate scan. They were not trying to pull one over on me. Yeah, little bit of the little bend there, tiny bit there, but like I said, you're just nitpicking by that point. All right, so yeah, this one is definitely as advertised, and I'm sure the next one will be as well. All right, so there's the picture of this one. So yeah, so you can tell it's the same exact card because you see it was miscut, very heavy borders up top and on the left side, same very heavy borders, left side top. And then, yep, you see the little frame in that middle corner there, little frame there, these two spots there, so yeah. And then the back, yeah, yep, I see that little smudginess there, this little bit there, a little bit of over there. Yeah, so, yep, I got what I paid for, and for the price, I'm happy with it. All right. So thank you, Super Games Inc. There's another card, Caracas, which is also for my Singleton deck. hopefully it's still there. I'm definitely pulling the trigger on it from these guys, and I'll try to make more purchases from them whenever it comes to, well, actually just in general. They have my future business, and I'm sure I've bought from them before, right? Maybe just cheaper stuff. All right, so now going into the next thing. Actually, let me look at the listing. So this next one is just cheap stuff, and actually I'll show the other package that I'm getting as well. All right, so the one that I'm getting now is actually the one that I'm opening up is this one from 95. 3 Chaos Harlequins, 3 Phantasmal Fiend, 2 Baduian Bears, 4 Barbed Sextants, 4 Orcish Cannoneers. So I played against some decks before that had Chaos Harlequins in them, and they seem to be a card that gets included instead of, you know, some other more known options, maybe a Storm Shaman or Baduian Horde, stuff like that. So I'm liking it. And you know, just for $1.89 each, I figured why not. So this is what I'm going to be opening up in this one. Right? Honestly, the one I really wanted was this one, because this one has more of the heavy hitter stuff. And look at the price. This one here, just $6. The next one that's coming up is 37.5, and then with the shipping tax, everything, it was $43. That one included one more to complete the playset, Chaos Harlequin, 2 Ursus Baubles. They each are over $5. I have 2, that's why I only bought 2 more. And 4 Zuran Orbs. They're just $1 each, give or take. But it also included 4 Lodestone Baubles, which are over $5 each. So between that, 20, 30, and then $1 each for the Harlequin and then Zuran Orb. That's how we got that price. So this is the one actually that's a bit definitely more important. But we'll see. We'll see if I open it, make a video. But I'm thinking I just will open it up and that's it. You guys already know what I'm gonna get. It should be all near mint, like it says here. This one should also be all near mint. I already had 1 Phantasmal Fiend, I believe, so I only needed 1. I already had 2 Baduian Bears, but I needed 2 more. Or at least I wanted to have the playset. All right, so this is what I have here. Let's open up and double check that it matches what I was supposed to be getting. So just a regular envelope, but it has definitely a nice protective covering around. Here's my receipt. More, so they put it on 2 layers of this packaging, which is very nice of them. All right, so this one is from one seller. The other package is TCG Direct, so it's from multiple businesses, and they all pull the cards together, and then so at least with this package, it's all the doing of just one business, which is $9.95. All right, so let's go in order. 3 Chaos Harlequins near mint. Everything is supposed to be near mint. Yep, 3 Chaos Harlequins near mint. 1 maybe light plated a tiny bit, but man, actually yeah, I would maybe call 2 out of the 3 light played. But I guess it's in that gray zone. It's nothing big to complain about. Perfectly fine. Yep, so 3 Chaos Harlequin near mintish-ish. 3 Phantasmal Fiends doorway version near mint. 1, 2, 3. They all look nice. Back looks nice. So these are creatures are everything is very underpowered in Alliance's Ice Age. So Phantasmal Fiends tends to be a creature I've read about a lot that is seen as one of the better ones for black, because the 1/5 makes it a very solid blocker. But then if you're playing blue, you can, for 1 color, there's 1 blue, switch the power and the toughness. So as you clear the opponent's board, you can make that switch at any time, and then attack for 5 as opposed to just 1. And you can also pay 1 black to give it +1 -1, right? So it's very versatile. Takes mana, but still pretty useful. 2 Baldwin Bears. Like I said, I had 2, and I wanted to complete the playset because actually 2 mana for a 2/2 is solid for just old school in general, and specifically for Ice Age alliances, that's pretty decent. So I had 2. That completes the 2. Definitely for those are 2 or near mint. 4 Barbed Sextons. So I didn't have any of these. I thought I did, but when I checked, I didn't notice any. 1, 2, 3, 4. Checking the back. Yeah, 4 near mints. Yeah, these guys are pretty good. I wish there was a way that I can kind of like put a note in my orders about, you know, what I think about certain businesses. That way I can kind of remind myself to avoid some while remind myself to seek out other businesses. Because I've been burned by TCG Player a lot, and I keep reading. That's a common occurrence. But every now and then, like this business, they know how to do business correctly. 4 Bard Sextons, near mints. 4 Orcish Cannoneers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, near mint. Yeah, so that's, you know, nothing exciting here. In fact, the other ones were more exciting. The other package that's still to come. But even that, you know, like it's exciting for alliances, Ice Age. Right? Actually, not even. Right? It's the barbs, the baubles. Those I'm testing it now. Actually, in a deck I'm trying to make through Cockatrice, and I'm liking the idea because once again I did play against a player, or maybe it was several games where players were playing Ursus Baubles, the Lodestone Bauble. I also saw the Bard Sexton in play being used, and I liked that as well. So basically it's a way to thin out the deck without it costing you cards. So this one is the best one. Ursus Bauble, because it costs 0 to cast, it costs 0 to activate. You look at one of opponent's cards in their hand at random, and then you draw another card during the next upkeep. So it replaces itself for free, and that's just a way to thin out your deck, right? So really, this card didn't really exist in your deck. You know, of course, there's still a drawback in that, you know, you still drew it first, and then you don't get the card immediately. But you know, this is assuming you're still doing other things, right? You still drop the land, and you know, like you weren't going to do other things anyway, right? So it still is very useful. Then very similarly, Lodestone Baubles costs 0 to cast, but it does cost 1 to activate. Sacrifice Lodestone Bauble to put up to 4 target basic lands from any player's graveyard on top of his or her library in any order. That player draws a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. So all this, to me, for the most part, is basically a useless effect. The only effect I care about is this bottom one. That player draws a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. To put up to 4. So I can target myself, and I could put 0 cards, 0 lands back on top of my library, which I do want to do that. I want to put 0 because I want to just use this to cycle itself out to get it to draw a different card. So once again, similar to the Lodestone Ursus Bauble, it's just the card that replaces itself so I can draw into what I really need quicker. So this is similar, also, although this one does cost 1 mana. But its effect could be useful depending on the occasion. But for me, for my intent, I just want it for the drawing effect. Bard Sexton, then this is the worst out of the 3. So basically I went in order. Ursus Bauble is the best one for what I want it to do. Lodestone Bauble is second best, and it does have a ability that could be useful depending. But if you just want it for draw, it's second best. then Barb Sexton is the third best, but it does have a pretty useful effect. So it does cost 1 to cast, and it does cost 1 to activate. Sacrifice Barb Sexton to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt, draw a card at the beginning of the next turn cycle. So this is a great way to, in case I draw 3 lands and I don't have the correct 2 mountains and a forest, but I have a Thermal cards in my hand, costs 2 green and red. So I don't have the right, I don't have that, I have 1 missing mana of whatever type. This will fix that, pay 1. This gives me 1 extra mana. So the mana that you do pay, you actually get back. So, you know, like you could say that it doesn't really cost 1 because it just costs 1 to cast, but you could say it doesn't cost 1 to activate because you just get it back anyway. And if I don't, you know, like I could just do that and then get whatever mana, you know, a lot of times it doesn't matter, right? I just, once again, I want it for a special effect of I draw a card at the beginning of next turn cycle. So I want to have all these 12 cards just as options. I do want to make a deck that has, you know, like I said, I saw them in action against me, and I really like that effect recently, and then I just wanted to have them. And then Cannoneers are just, once again, I got some opponents play them against me. I really liked their versatility. I haven't played against Phantasmal Fiend, but I know they are good. Chaos Harlequins, I've played against it, and definitely was very useful. So I'm seeing the usefulness of this card. All right, so that's the video for today. Some old school, some Alice. If I don't make a video of the next package, at least you guys already know what it was, but maybe I do. We'll see, because those cards are pretty important. Okay, but today's video is over. Thank you for watching.